As none of you may know, I competed in Blue Retro Dragons Game Jam competition thing on Scratch. And I got... And in this video I will talk about how painfully fantastic this experience was, for me at least. It all started back in 2024. I was over at my friend's house and we saw this project from my other online friend, Coffee Mornings. He had made a shooter game for Blue Retro Dragons competition, and I thought I could try to compete in this competition. So I started brainstorming and came up with an idea for a game. You play as an antivirus software and you help bugs leave your computer. Sounds simple, right? Yeah, it was not simple. Some days later, I had a pretty good prototype ready. By this time, it was about right before the middle of January, and I was still pretty optimistic about both my game and chances of winning. Oh boy, was I wrong. It's after this point where it all starts going downhill. I had just finished the last bug of Act 1 and I was pretty proud of my creation. I had my brother playtest and some other people online with the demo I had released, but then I started to work on a new feature for Act 2. The viruses. And I could make an entirely separate video on why I would have completely removed the viruses if I were to remake this game, and the many things I did wrong under their development. But let's just say, never make an NPC and a boss in the same sprite. I learned my lesson after the second virus dose. It wasn't all bad. But when Virus C and Virus P were somewhat playable, I got bored of making viruses. So I started work on the best feature in the game yet. Egg clicker! This is exactly what it sounds like. One of the bugs is called Duck Bug, and he needs 10 billion eggs. So you play the best thing in this game after the boss fight. And you just click one egg and buy chickens and birds and roosters and crocodiles and a bunch of other things. After I made Duckbug, I still didn't really want to program on Virus S, so I made Oodlebug. And he got his name from when I searched up synonyms with money, because I wanted synonym with money on B, because Moneybug didn't sound as great. And his minigame is okay, it's just one of those where you run on the floor and catch things that falls from the ceiling. But you can commit to activation, so that's fun, I guess. And then I made the third and final virus fight, Virus S. He was actually pretty easy to make compared to the other virus fights, but then it was time. It was time for the one feature that almost made me go insane. The final boss fight. During the game, you meet this mysterious red guy that helps you through the game. He even holds the tutorial. But in the first cutscene of the boss fight, you find out that he is actually a Tyrannophage, the evil virus overlord that has been trying to take over the computer for some time. And this is where the hat collection comes into play. You get tricked into throwing the hats on him and it empowers him and blah blah blah. After he gets empowered by the hats, you fight the entire internet because he wants to kill you, and after that he implodes for plot reasons. And then it ends with a sick pun and some end credits. That was a brief summary of the entire ending of the game. If you want to check it out for yourself, go play it, link in the description. Some interesting facts about the development is that the final boss fight took about 25 of all the programming time. And another fun fact is that I listened to this game's soundtracks 767 times, or for about 25 567 hours of the same 8 songs on loop. And the variable that counted the songs, the variable that counted the songs was added about halfway through the development. So if we add a reasonable amount of songs, maybe 43.333 hours and not 25. It was quite some time I spent on this little project of mine, and that brings up the second problem with this competition: the time of the year. If you are like me, you have probably played the game Danny's World at some time in your life. This is an amazing Roblox War experience that I highly recommend, but they had some problems. I'll not dive too far deep into it, but one of the lead developers was a predator, which led to several problems with the events. Most notably, the fact that their Christmas event started on January 10th. And since this event is only 1 month long, this complicated the further development of Out. But I persisted. I got all of the things from the event, even the seasonal main Babette. But at the same time, Tower Defense Simulator and Tower Heroes also started their Christmas events. And their events dropped a bit earlier, but still in the same time frame as the competition. I have, at the time of writing and recording this, 124 out of 150 recipes, so if you need some, hit me up. So after almost 100%ing both of these events, I realized, fuck, I need to continue developing my game. And then I went through all of the 5 stages of Grid in one afternoon. But now I'm finally done, so let's just wait for the results and see what happens. And the development of Bugged Out has also been my start of 2025, so it can only go upwards from here, right? Now I can focus on DDH CGM or Monday Samurai 2 or Friends Forever. Yeah. Wait, is that a new game soundtrack?